In the year 2150, Earth had finally achieved a semblance of global harmony. Climate crises had been averted, renewable energy powered the world, and humanity had taken its first tentative steps into the solar system. Mars hosted a small but thriving colony, and the Moon had become a hub for scientific research and space tourism. It was an era of unprecedented peace and progress, with nations working together to solve the remaining challenges that faced our species. On a crisp autumn morning, as the world went about its business, an alert from the Deep Space Monitoring Network sent ripples of excitement through the scientific community. An unidentified object, moving at impossible speeds, had entered the solar system. Within hours, it had bypassed the outer planets and was decelerating as it approached Earth orbit. The world held its breath, unsure whether to celebrate or panic. As the object came into visual range, it revealed itself to be a sleek, silvery craft unlike anything humanity had ever constructed. Its surface seemed to shimmer and shift, as if it were made of liquid metal. World leaders scrambled to convene an emergency meeting, while the global population watched in awe as live feeds showed the alien vessel taking up position above the International Space Station. For 3 days, the ship maintained its position, silent and motionless. Attempts at communication went unanswered, and the world teetered on the edge of panic. Then, without warning, a message was broadcast simultaneously to every communication device on the planet. The aliens, calling themselves the Zephyrians, requested a peaceful meeting with Earth's leaders. The United Nations quickly organized a welcome committee composed of world leaders, scientists, and cultural ambassadors. As agreed, the meeting took place in a neutral location, a specially constructed dome in the Sahara Desert. When the Zephyrian delegation emerged from their ship, humanity got its first glimpse of their visitors. They were tall, graceful beings with iridescent skin that seemed to change color with their emotions. Their large, almond-shaped eyes held a depth of wisdom that was both awe-inspiring and unsettling. The Zephyrians spoke perfect English, explaining that they had been observing Earth for centuries and had decided the time was right for first contact. They praised humanity's recent progress and expressed a desire for cultural exchange and mutual learning. Over the following weeks, the aliens shared glimpses of their advanced technology, clean energy sources that could power entire cities with a device the size of a briefcase, medical techniques that could cure diseases thought incurable, and propulsion systems that could traverse galaxies in mere months. As the initial excitement settled, a team of human scientists was invited aboard the Zephyrian ship to study their technology. Dr. Amelia Chen, a brilliant quantum physicist, led the group. While the aliens were forthcoming with many of their advancements, Amelia noticed they were oddly reticent about certain areas of their ship and specific questions about their homeworld. One evening, as Amelia was analyzing some Zephyrian data in her lab on Earth, she noticed an anomaly. The energy readings from the alien ship didn't match the output of the technology they had demonstrated. Intrigued, she dug deeper, cross-referencing the data with observations from Earth's most powerful telescopes. What she discovered sent a chill down her spine. The Zephyrian ship was not alone. Cloaked by technology far beyond human capabilities, a massive fleet of vessels lurked at the edges of the solar system. Moreover, the energy signatures suggested that the Zephyrians were conducting extensive scans of Earth's core, atmosphere, and biosphere. Amelia's discovery coincided with reports from environmental monitoring stations around the world. Subtle but significant changes were occurring in Earth's ecosystems. New microorganisms were appearing in soil and water samples, altering the local biology in ways that were barely perceptible but deeply concerning to those who knew where to look. As Amelia prepared to share her findings with the United Nations, she received an unexpected visitor. Zifix, one of the alien scientists she had been working with, appeared in her lab, his skin shimmering with a mix of colors she had never seen before. "Dr. Chen," he said, his voice tinged with what sounded like regret, "I'm afraid we haven't been entirely truthful with you." Zifix explained that the Zephyrians were not merely explorers or diplomats. They were scouts for a vast empire that spanned multiple galaxies. Earth, with its rich biosphere and unique position in the galaxy, had been marked as the next world for Zephyrian colonization. The cultural exchange had been a ruse, a way to study humanity up close and prepare the planet for a more permanent presence. But why the deception? Amelia asked, her mind reeling from the revelation. Why not simply take what you want by force? Zephix's skin rippled with shades of blue and green. Our empire has learned that willing subjects are far more valuable than conquered ones. We had hoped to guide your species into accepting us as benevolent overseers. Your world would have been transformed, your people elevated to new heights of technology and understanding. But in return, Earth would become a part of our empire, its resources and people at our disposal. As Amelia listened, her shock turned to determination. She realized that humanity stood at a crossroads, facing a threat unlike any it had encountered before. The Zephyrians, with their vast technological superiority, could easily overwhelm Earth's defenses. But they had underestimated something crucial: the human spirit's capacity for resilience, creativity, and unity in the face of adversity. "You've made a grave miscalculation," Amelia said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Humanity will not quietly submit to colonization, no matter how benevolent you claim to be." Zephix's skin darkened to a deep purple. "I had hoped you would understand, Dr. Chen. For the sake of our friendship, I came to warn you. The process has already begun. Soon, it will be irreversible. I suggest you accept the inevitable and help your people transition peacefully." As Zephix turned to leave, Amelia called out, "You don't know us as well as you think you do. We've faced extinction before, from our own making and from forces beyond our control. Each time, we've adapted, we've survived. This time will be no different." The alien paused at the door, his skin flickering with an emotion Amelia couldn't decipher. "For your sake, I hope you're right," he said softly. Then, in a shimmer of light, he was gone. Amelia stood alone in her lab, the weight of Earth's future heavy on her shoulders. She knew that the next few hours would determine the fate of humanity. As she reached for her phone to alert the authorities, she felt a mix of fear and determination. The silent invasion had begun, but humanity's stand was about to shake the very foundations of the cosmos. Humanity's resilience. The revelation of the Zephyrians' true intentions sent shockwaves through the global community. Initial disbelief quickly gave way to a grim determination as governments and citizens alike grappled with the reality of their situation. Dr. Amelia Chen's warning, backed by irrefutable evidence, galvanized world leaders into action. In an unprecedented display of unity, the United Nations convened an emergency session. Old rivalries and political differences were set aside as nations pooled their resources and expertise. A global task force, codenamed Operation Earthguard, was established to coordinate humanity's response to the Zephyrian threat. As the aliens continued their facade of peaceful exchange, humanity worked feverishly behind the scenes. Military forces around the world were quietly mobilized, not for war, but for a new kind of defense. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, analyzing the snippets of Zephyrian technology they had been shown and looking for potential weaknesses. One of the first breakthroughs came from an unexpected source. Dr. Kwame Osei, a Ghanaian botanist, noticed that some of Earth's plant species were showing unusual resistance to the alien microorganisms. Further research revealed that these plants, many of which were native to regions with extreme environmental conditions, possessed unique properties that could counteract the Zephyrian biological alterations. This discovery led to a global effort to cultivate and distribute these resilient plant species. Parks, rooftops, and even city streets were transformed into urban gardens. The initiative not only helped combat the alien influence on Earth's biosphere, but also brought communities together, fostering a sense of purpose and hope. Meanwhile, in laboratories and workshops around the world, human ingenuity was hard at work. The challenge of creating defenses against technology centuries ahead of Earth's own seemed insurmountable, But humanity's creativity proved to be a powerful asset. In Silicon Valley, a team led by prodigy programmer Maya Patel developed an adaptive AI system designed to detect and counteract Zephyrian communication signals. The system, nicknamed Firewall, was capable of learning and evolving at an astonishing rate, providing a digital shield against alien intrusion. Across the globe in Nairobi, Dr. Jabari Kimani and his team made a breakthrough in materials science. Inspired by the reflective properties of certain insects, they created a metamaterial that could bend light and other electromagnetic waves around objects, effectively rendering them invisible to Zephyrian sensors. As these innovations began to take shape, the Zephyrians' plans started to falter. Their attempts to subtly manipulate Earth's environment were met with unexpected resistance. The aliens, accustomed to swift and efficient colonization, found themselves facing a planet that seemed to be fighting back at every turn. Zephix, the alien scientist who had warned Dr. Chen, observed these developments with a mix of concern and fascination. He had come to respect the humans he worked with, particularly Amelia, and found himself increasingly conflicted about his mission. One day, as Amelia was overseeing the installation of a new defensive system, Zephix approached her. "Your people continue to surprise us," he said, his skin shimmering with a mix of blue and gold. "No species has ever resisted us so creatively." Amelia regarded him cautiously. "We're fighting for our home, our future. We'll use every tool at our disposal." Zephix's eyes seemed to darken. "You must understand, Dr. Chen. The Empire does not tolerate failure. If we cannot colonize Earth peacefully, they will resort to more direct methods." His warning proved prophetic. As Earth's defenses grew stronger, the Zephyrian High Command lost patience. The facade of friendship was abruptly dropped, and the true extent of the alien fleet was revealed. Massive ships, each capable of devastating entire continents, took up positions around the planet. The world watched in horror as the Zephyrian Supreme Commander, a towering figure with skin that blazed like fire, broadcast an ultimatum to every screen on Earth. "Your resistance, while admirable, is futile," the alien voice boomed. "Surrender now, and we will still accept you into our empire with minimal loss of life. Continue to resist, and we will be forced to take more drastic measures." For a moment, the world held its breath. Then, in a display of defiance that would be remembered for generations, protests erupted in cities across the globe. Millions of people took to the streets, carrying signs, chanting slogans, and showing the universe that humanity would not go quietly into the night. The Zephyrians, caught off guard by this display, hesitated. Their empire had encountered resistance before, but never on this scale, never with this much passion and unity. As the aliens debated their next move, humanity seized the initiative. Operation Earthguard launched a multi-pronged defense strategy. Maya Patel's firewall system was activated globally, creating a digital barrier that the Zephyrians struggled to penetrate. Dr. Kimani's metamaterial was deployed to key military and civilian installations, hiding them from alien sensors. In orbit, a hastily assembled fleet of Earth's most advanced spacecraft, enhanced with reverse-engineered Zephyrian technology, took up defensive positions. Though vastly outgunned, these ships were piloted by volunteers who knew they were humanity's first line of defense. On the ground, the plant-based countermeasures developed by Dr. Osei and his team began to show dramatic results. The alien microorganisms that had been quietly altering Earth's biosphere were being systematically neutralized. In some areas, the changes were even being reversed. As the battle for Earth's future hung in the balance, an unexpected ally emerged. Zephix, moved by humanity's spirit and troubled by the Empire's methods, decided to take action. He approached Amelia with critical information about the Zephyrian fleet's weaknesses and offered to help. "Why?" Amelia asked, still unsure if she could trust him. Zephix's skin rippled with a kaleidoscope of colors. Because in all our travels, in all our conquests, we've never encountered a species quite like yours. You've shown me that there's more than one way to advance, to explore the cosmos. Perhaps it's time for the Empire to learn a new way. With Zephyx's help, Operation Earthguard refined its strategies. Human scientists worked alongside the rebel alien, combining Zephyrian knowledge with human innovation to create defenses that the Empire had never encountered before. As the Zephyrian fleet prepared for what they thought would be a swift conquest, they found themselves facing a planet far more formidable than they had ever imagined. The tide was beginning to turn, and the cosmos watched in awe as humanity stood its ground against one of the mightiest forces in the galaxy. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and with it, a new chapter in the story of both humanity and the Zephyrian Empire. The universe was about to learn a vital lesson about the power of unity, creativity, and the indomitable human spirit, the cosmic lesson. The confrontation between humanity and the Zephyrian Empire reached its crescendo in a series of battles that would be remembered across the galaxy for millennia to come. As the alien fleet moved to encircle the Earth, humanity's hastily prepared defenses sprang into action. The first wave of Zephyrian attackers found themselves confounded by Earth's multi-layered defense system. Maya Patel's firewall AI adapted in real time, countering the aliens' attempts to hack Earth's communication networks and control systems. Zephyrian ships, accustomed to easy electronic warfare victories, suddenly found themselves locked out and flying blind. On the planet's surface, Dr. Kimani's metamaterial cloaking technology concealed key military installations and population centers. Zephyrian targeting systems, unable to lock onto their intended marks, fired into empty fields and uninhabited areas. The aliens' frustration grew as their supposedly infallible technology repeatedly failed them. But it was in space where the most dramatic battles unfolded. Earth's fleet, though vastly outnumbered and outgunned, fought with a tenacity that caught the Zephyrians completely off guard. Human pilots, leveraging their home field advantage and guided by Zephyx's inside knowledge, executed maneuvers that the Empire's rigid battle doctrine never accounted for. Captain Yuki Tanaka, leading a squadron of retrofitted fighters, became a legend in a matter of hours. Her unorthodox tactics, combining old-school dogfighting techniques with advanced alien tech, resulted in the destruction of 3 Zephyrian capital ships. As footage of her exploits spread across the globe, she became a symbol of humanity's defiance. On the ground, an unlikely alliance was forming. Dr. Amelia Chen, working alongside Zephyx and a team of international scientists, had made a groundbreaking discovery. The plant-based countermeasures developed to combat the Zephyrian biological agents had an unexpected side effect. When processed in a specific way, they produced an energy signature that disrupted Zephyrian shielding technology. This discovery led to a global initiative that would have seemed impossible just weeks earlier. This discovery led to a global initiative that would have seemed impossible just weeks earlier. Farmers, gardeners, and even city dwellers with window boxes joined in a massive effort to cultivate these plants. Every greenhouse, rooftop garden, and vacant lot became a weapons factory of sorts, producing the organic material needed to power Earth's new secret weapon. As the space battles raged on, Dr. Chen and her team worked tirelessly to weaponize their discovery. They developed a device that could concentrate and project the disruptive energy produced by the plants. The technology was quickly miniaturized and distributed to Earth's defenders, both in space and on the ground. The turning point came during a massive Zephyrian assault on Earth's largest population centers. As the alien ships descended, their shields flickering with strange interference, they were met not just by military forces, but by millions of civilians armed with the new devices. Beams of green energy lanced upward from rooftops, streets, and parks, each one powered by the very plants the Zephyrians had inadvertently helped proliferate. The alien shields, once thought impenetrable, wavered and failed. Zephyrian ground troops, deployed for the first time, found themselves facing not just soldiers, but ordinary citizens fighting with a ferocity born of desperation and hope. The invaders, so certain of their superiority, were pushed back street by street, city by city. In orbit, the tide of battle shifted dramatically. Captain Tanaka, her fighters now equipped with the plant-based disruptors, led a daring assault on the Zephyrian flagship. With their shields compromised, the massive alien vessel proved vulnerable to the humans' technically inferior but precisely targeted attacks. As the flagship's systems failed, the Zephyrian Supreme Commander, the same imposing figure who had delivered the ultimatum to Earth, found himself face to face with Captain Tanaka and a boarding party of Earth's finest soldiers. The alien leader, his fiery skin now dulled to a smoldering orange, realized that he was witnessing something unprecedented in the history of the Zephyrian Empire: defeat. Meanwhile, on the surface, Zephyx played a crucial role in turning the tide. He used his knowledge of Zephyrian tactics and technology to help Earth's forces anticipate and counter the invaders' moves. More importantly, he opened communication channels with like-minded individuals within the Zephyrian ranks, those who had come to question the Empire's methods and motives. As news of Earth's successful defense spread through the Zephyrian fleet, dissent grew. Many of the aliens had been impressed by humanity's resourcefulness and unity in the face of overwhelming odds. They began to see the humans not as subjects to be conquered, but as potential allies who'd offer a new perspective on cosmic coexistence. The final moments of the conflict unfolded not on the battlefield, but in a hastily convened peace conference. The Zephyrian Supreme Commander, now a prisoner, was forced to confront the leaders of the world he had tried to subjugate. But instead of the retribution he expected, he found something altogether different. Dr. Amelia Chen, speaking on behalf of humanity, addressed the defeated alien leader. "We could destroy you now," she said, her voice firm but not unkind. "We have the means, and some would say we have the right. But that's not who we are. That's not the future we want to build." She went on to propose a radical idea, a new form of galactic cooperation. Earth would share its unique innovations, its art, its cultures, and its perspective as a young species reaching for the stars. In return, the Zephyrians would share their advanced technology and their knowledge of the cosmos not as conquerors, but as partners. "We've proven that we're stronger together," Amelia concluded. "Imagine what we could achieve if we worked side by side, exploring the universe not to dominate, but to understand." The Supreme Commander, his worldview shattered but his mind opened to new possibilities, found himself nodding in agreement. The war ended not with unconditional surrender, but with the first steps toward a cosmic alliance that would reshape the galaxy. In the years that followed, Earth became a beacon of innovation and cooperation in the galactic community. The Zephyrian Empire, humbled by its defeat but enriched by its new partnership with humanity, underwent a profound transformation. Other alien civilizations, intrigued by this new model of interstellar relations, began to reach out. Zephyx, once a reluctant colonizer, became Earth's ambassador to the stars. Captain Tanaka led joint human-Zephyrian exploration missions to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Dr. Chen's plant-based technologies revolutionized energy production and environmental restoration across countless worlds. But perhaps the most profound change was in humanity itself. The invasion had united Earth in ways that had once seemed impossible. Old conflicts faded in importance as people everywhere recognized their shared identity as citizens of Earth and new members of a vast cosmic community. As the story of Earth's stand against the Zephyrians spread across the galaxy, it became a legend, a testament to the power of creativity, unity, and the indomitable spirit of a young species that refused to be conquered. The cosmos had indeed learned a lesson, one that would shape the course of galactic history for eons to come. In the end, Earth's greatest victory wasn't just in repelling an invasion, but in transforming an enemy into an ally and opening the door to a future filled with endless possibilities. As humans and Zephyrians worked together to explore the universe, they carried with them a powerful message. that even in the darkest of times, hope, courage, and the willingness to see the best in others could illuminate the way forward. The silent invasion had failed, but in its place, a cosmic awakening had begun, and as Earth took its place among the stars, the universe watched and wondered what this remarkable species would do next.